There's a hidden truth that separates those who thrive from those who merely survive, and today I'm going to share it with you. Most people believe that happiness is something that happens to them, like rain or sunshine, completely beyond their control. But what if I told you that's the biggest lie you've ever been sold? What if I revealed that your emotional state is actually the most powerful tool you possess, and you've been giving it away for free? What if the very struggles you're facing right now are not punishments, but invitations to become the person you were always meant to be? And what if, by the end of our time together, you discovered that joy isn't found in perfect circumstances, but forged in the fire of deliberate choice? Listen closely, because what I'm about to share will challenge everything you think you know about happiness, success, and the human spirit. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years studying the most successful people in history. And what he discovered wasn't luck, wasn't privilege, wasn't perfect timing. It was something far more powerful and completely within your reach. It was the ability to master their inner world regardless of their outer circumstances. You see, there's a war happening inside every human being right now, and most people don't even know they're losing it. It's the war between who you are and who you could become, between the voice that says, "I can't," and the spirit that whispers, "Watch me." Every morning when you wake up, you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to the same emotional patterns that have kept you stuck, the same reactive responses that have stolen your peace. The other path leads to something magnificent, something most people never discover because they're too busy looking outside themselves for salvation. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 23:7, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." This isn't just ancient wisdom, it's a scientific truth that modern psychology has proven over and over again. Your thoughts create your reality, your emotions follow your focus, and your life becomes whatever you consistently believe it to be. But here's where most people get it wrong. They wait for their circumstances to change before they change their thoughts. They wait to feel good before they act right. They wait for permission from the world to be happy, and the world never gives it. What I'm about to teach you is how to reverse that process completely, how to become the kind of person who creates their emotional climate instead of being controlled by it, how to develop what Napoleon Hill called mental discipline, the ability to direct your thoughts like a conductor directs an orchestra, creating harmony even when individual instruments seem out of tune. Every single day, you make thousands of choices, but there's one choice that matters more than all the others combined, the choice of what to focus on. Will you focus on what's broken or what's possible? Will you dwell on what hurt you yesterday or dream about what you can create tomorrow? Will you let the chaos around you determine your inner state, or will you become so centered, so grounded in purpose that external storms can't shake your foundation? Think about the strongest person you know. I guarantee they didn't become strong by having an easy life. They became strong by choosing strength over and over again, especially when it felt impossible. They learned to smile through tears, not because they enjoyed pain, but because they understood something profound. Your emotional state is your choice, and that choice determines everything else. When Jesus faced the cross, he could have chosen bitterness. Instead, he chose love. When Stephen was being stoned, he could have chosen hatred. Instead, he chose forgiveness. These weren't superhuman beings. They were people who understood that their power lay not in controlling their circumstances, but in controlling their responses to those circumstances. This is your moment to make that same choice. Not tomorrow, not when life gets easier, but right now, in the middle of whatever storm you're facing. The person you're meant to become is waiting on the other side of this decision. Are you ready to meet them? Now that you understand the foundation, let me show you exactly how to build an unshakable emotional core. Napoleon Hill discovered that successful people don't just think differently. They train their minds like athletes train their bodies. They understand that emotional strength isn't a gift you're born with, it's a skill you develop through consistent practice. Here's what most people never realize. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on your repeated thoughts and actions. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, but I call it hope. No matter how negative your thinking patterns have been, no matter how deep your emotional wounds, you have the power to literally reshape your mind. Every time you choose a positive thought over a negative one, every time you respond with purpose instead of reacting with emotion, you're building new neural pathways that make joy your default setting. But this process requires what I call mental muscle memory. Just as a pianist practices scales until their fingers know the notes without conscious thought, you must practice emotional disciplines until strength becomes your automatic response. When disappointment knocks you down, your trained mind immediately looks for the lesson. When fear whispers, "You're not enough," your disciplined spirit answers, "Watch me grow." When others try to steal your peace, your fortified heart simply doesn't give them access. The Bible reminds us in Philippians 4:8 to think on things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, and admirable. This isn't just spiritual advice, it's psychological programming. What you consistently think about literally rewires your brain for success or failure, joy or misery, strength or weakness. You're programming yourself every single day whether you realize it or not. The only question is, what kind of program are you running? I want you to imagine two farmers. One plants seeds of gratitude, purpose, and possibility in the soil of his mind every morning. He waters them with positive action and protects them from the weeds of negative thinking. The other farmer lets his mental garden run wild, allowing doubt, fear, and resentment to grow unchecked. At harvest time, whose crop do you think will feed his family? Your mind is that garden, and every thought is a seed. Right now, take a moment to assess what you've been planting. Are you growing flowers or weeds? Are you cultivating strength or weakness? Are you building the mental foundation for the life you want? Or are you sabotaging yourself with thoughts that serve no purpose except to keep you small? Napoleon Hill taught that thoughts become things, but only when they're backed by emotion and action. It's not enough to think positive thoughts. You must feel them deeply and act on them consistently. This is why affirmations fail for most people. They're just words without power. But when you combine clear vision with burning emotion and consistent action, you become unstoppable. Here's a practice that will change your life if you commit to it. Every morning for the next 21 days, before you check your phone or allow the world to invade your mind, spend 10 minutes feeding your spirit. Read something that inspires you. Visualize the person you're becoming. Speak words of gratitude and power over your life. Set an emotional tone so strong that nothing that happens during the day can knock you off course. During these moments of morning preparation, remember that you're not just getting ready for the day. You're programming your subconscious mind for success. You're telling your deeper self, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is the energy I bring to everything I touch. And your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your behavior, will work tirelessly to make that vision your reality. But I need you to understand something crucial. This isn't about pretending everything is fine when it's not. This isn't about toxic positivity or denying reality. This is about developing the emotional strength to find opportunity in difficulty, to see possibility in pain, to extract wisdom from wounds. This is about becoming so mentally tough that you can face any storm with calm confidence, knowing that you have the tools to not just survive, but to thrive. Before we continue, I want to ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. If this message is resonating with you, if you feel that spark of possibility igniting in your heart, would you do me a favor? Would you subscribe to this channel not just because I asked, but because you're making a commitment to your own growth? This isn't just about numbers for me, it's about building a community of people who refuse to settle for ordinary lives. When you subscribe, you're saying, I'm ready to become the person I was meant to be. And when you share this video, you're saying, I believe others deserve this transformation too. Comment below and tell me one thing you're going to do differently starting today. I read every single comment because your breakthrough might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Now, we come to the part that separates the truly successful from everyone else, their relationship with pain. While most people run from difficulty, emotional masters understand that pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher, your sculptor, your invitation to greatness. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has first learned to transform their wounds into wisdom, their setbacks into comebacks, their tests into testimonies. Napoleon Hill observed that every great success story began with what looked like failure. Thomas Edison's 1,000 failed light bulb attempts weren't failures, they were research. Abraham Lincoln's multiple political defeats weren't setbacks, they were preparation for leading a nation through its greatest crisis. Your current struggles aren't punishments, they're the raw materials for your greatest victories. But here's what you must understand. Pain without purpose is just suffering. Pain with purpose becomes power. The difference lies not in what happens to you, but in how you choose to interpret what happens to you. When you're going through hell, as Winston Churchill said, keep going. But more than that, learn while you're going. Grow while you're going. Become who you need to become while you're going through what you're going through. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:28 that all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to His purpose. This doesn't mean everything that happens is good. It means that God can use everything that happens for your ultimate good if you'll let Him. But you have to cooperate with the process. You have to be willing to see with spiritual eyes, to trust when you can't trace, to believe that your current chapter is not your final story. Think about a muscle that's never been challenged. It remains weak, underdeveloped, useless in times of real demand. But a muscle that faces resistance grows stronger, more resilient, more capable. Your character works the same way. Comfort creates weakness, but pressure creates diamonds. The very situations that are stretching you right now are building spiritual muscles you didn't even know you needed. I want you to do something revolutionary. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Instead of saying, this is too hard, start saying, I'm getting stronger. Instead of thinking, I can't handle this, start declaring, I was made for this moment. This shift in perspective doesn't change your circumstances immediately, but it changes you immediately. And when you change, everything around you begins to change too. Every time you choose to respond with strength instead of reacting with weakness, you're not just handling a situation, you're reprogramming your entire approach to life. You're teaching yourself that you can be trusted with difficulty, that you can be counted on when things get tough, that you have what it takes to turn any situation into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Napoleon Hill called this transmuting defeat into victory. It's the ability to look at what others see as endings and see new beginnings, to look at what others call impossible and call it inevitable. To take what was meant to destroy you and use it as fuel to become everything you were meant to be. But this transformation doesn't happen automatically. It requires what I call intentional interpretation. You must consciously choose to find the gift in every difficult situation. Not because you enjoy suffering, but because you refuse to let suffering be wasted. You refuse to go through something and not grow through it. You refuse to let pain be the period at the end of your sentence when it could be the comma that leads to your greatest chapter. Consider Joseph in the Bible, sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned, forgotten by those he helped. For years it looked like his dreams were dead, but every trial was actually preparing him for his destiny as a leader who would save nations from famine. When he finally faced his brothers again, he said, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." That's the power of perspective. That's the strength of someone who has learned to find purpose in pain. Right now, whatever you're facing, I want you to know that you're stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more capable than you've ever imagined. Your current struggle is not your final story. It's the labor pains of your next level. It's the pressure that's creating your pearl. It's the fire that's forging your character into something unbreakable. Understanding principles is powerful, but applying them daily is transformational. Let me give you the exact practices that separate those who merely survive from those who truly thrive. These aren't complicated techniques, they're simple disciplines that compound over time to create an unshakable foundation of joy. First, master your mornings. Napoleon Hill discovered that successful people never leave their emotional state to chance. They deliberately set the tone for their entire day before the world has a chance to influence them. Your first thoughts upon waking are the seeds of your entire day. Will you plant victory or defeat, strength or weakness, possibility or problems? The choice is yours, but you must make it consciously and consistently. Create what I call a power hour, 60 minutes dedicated exclusively to feeding your mind and spirit. Read something inspirational, pray or meditate, visualize your goals, exercise your body, or journal your thoughts. During this time, you're not consuming negative news or checking social media. You're building mental and emotional momentum that will carry you through any challenge the day might bring. Second, practice gratitude like it's a spiritual discipline, because it is. Gratitude isn't just positive thinking, it's rewiring your brain to focus on abundance instead of lack, on what's working instead of what's wrong, on possibilities instead of problems. Every morning, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for and why. Not just "I'm grateful for my family," but "I'm grateful for my daughter's laugh," because it reminds me that joy can be found in simple moments. The Bible instructs us to give thanks in all circumstances, not because everything is good, but because there's always something good to be found if we're looking for it. This practice literally changes your neural pathways, making optimism your default setting rather than pessimism. Third, guard your mental gates. Every day you're bombarded with thousands of messages, most of them designed to make you feel inadequate, afraid, or angry. You must become a fierce guardian of what you allow into your mind. Ask yourself, is this information helping me become who I want to be, or is it pulling me toward who I used to be? Be ruthless in protecting your mental space. Fourth, practice what I call response training. Instead of reacting automatically to difficult situations, train yourself to pause, breathe, and choose your response. This 3-second delay between stimulus and response is where your power lives. It's where you get to decide whether you'll be controlled by your circumstances or whether you'll control your response to them. Fifth, end each day with what Napoleon Hill called the daily review. Before sleep, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well today? What can I improve tomorrow? What am I grateful for? This practice ensures that you're constantly learning, growing, and programming your subconscious mind with positive input before sleep. Remember, the Bible says in Psalm 35 that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. But you must be prepared to receive that joy. You must create space for it through these daily disciplines. Joy isn't just an emotion that happens to you. It's a choice you make and a skill you develop. Consistency is everything. It's better to practice these disciplines imperfectly every day than to practice them perfectly once a week. Small, consistent actions compound over time to create massive transformations. The person who reads 10 pages a day will read 3,650 pages a year. The person who exercises 15 minutes daily will be in better shape than someone who works out intensely once a month. Your life is the sum total of your daily choices, and your daily choices are determined by your daily disciplines. Change your disciplines and you'll change your destiny. It's that simple and that powerful. But here's what I need you to understand. These aren't just techniques. They're a way of life. They're how you honor the gift of your existence. They're how you respect the dreams that have been placed in your heart. They're how you prepare yourself to be the answer to someone else's prayer, the solution to someone else's problem, the hope that someone else desperately needs. Before we conclude, I want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you. If you've made it this far in this message, you're different. You're not satisfied with mediocrity. You're hungry for something more, and that hunger is sacred. It's God calling you to your destiny. Would you honor that calling by subscribing to this channel? But more than that, would you honor it by committing to these practices? I want to hear from you in the comments. Tell me which of these disciplines you're going to start with. Share your story, your struggles, your dreams, your breakthrough moments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to keep going. And if you know someone who needs this message, share this video. Sometimes we have to be the answer to someone else's prayer. As we reach the culmination of this journey together, I want you to understand something profound. You weren't designed for ordinary. You weren't created to merely survive, to just get by, to settle for whatever life hands you. You were crafted for greatness, equipped for victory, destined for significance. But that destiny requires a choice, the choice to become unbreakable. What does it mean to be unbreakable? It doesn't mean you never face storms. It means you never let storms define you. It doesn't mean you never fall. It means you always get back up. It doesn't mean you never feel pain. It means you never let pain have the final word in your story. Unbreakable people understand that life's greatest victories come not from avoiding difficulty, but from walking through difficulty with dignity, purpose, and unwavering faith. Napoleon Hill spent his entire life studying what he called the philosophy of achievement, and at its core, he discovered this truth. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Change your inner world, and your outer world has no choice but to change with it. But that change begins with a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your circumstances. Right now, as you listen to these words, you're standing at a crossroads. Behind you is the person you used to be, the one who gave power to circumstances, who waited for permission to be happy, who let other people's opinions determine your worth. Ahead of you is the person you're becoming, the one who creates their own weather, who finds opportunity in every obstacle, who radiates strength even in the storm. The Bible declares in Isaiah 43:19, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" God is always ready to do something new in your life, but you must be ready to receive it. You must prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for the breakthrough that's coming. I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from today, having practiced these principles consistently. Picture the confidence in your step, the peace in your heart, the clarity in your mind. Visualize how you'll handle challenges that would have devastated the old you. See yourself as someone others look to for strength, wisdom, and hope. That person isn't a fantasy. That person is your future reality if you'll commit to the process. But commitment isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily renewal. Every morning when you wake up, you get to choose again. Will you rise with intention or sink into excuses? Will you feed your mind with truth or poison it with negativity? Will you respond to life's challenges with power or react with powerlessness? These daily choices, compounded over time, become the architecture of your destiny. The strongest people in history weren't born strong. They were forged in the fire of adversity. They learned to use pressure as their partner, resistance as their teacher, obstacles as their opportunities. They understood that diamonds are created under pressure, that gold is refined in fire, that character is built in the crucible of challenge. Your current struggles aren't signs that you're on the wrong path. They're evidence that you're growing, evolving, becoming. The very things that are stretching you today are preparing you for the victories of tomorrow. Don't waste your pain by refusing to learn from it. Don't squander your setbacks by failing to find the comeback hidden within them. Napoleon Hill taught that within every adversity is the seed of an equal or greater benefit. But seeds must be planted to produce fruit. Take the lessons from your struggles and plant them in the soil of your future. Water them with consistent action. Protect them from the weeds of doubt and fear, and watch as they grow into the harvest of your dreams. As we conclude this journey together, I want to leave you with this truth. You already have everything you need to create the life you want. You have a mind capable of incredible thoughts, a heart capable of tremendous love, a spirit capable of overcoming any obstacle. What you need now is not more information, it's more application. Not more knowledge, but more action. Not more inspiration, but more discipline. The time for waiting is over. The time for excuses has passed. The time for settling has ended. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your time to rise, to transform, to become the person you were always meant to be. Remember, happiness isn't a destination you arrive at. It's a way of traveling. Joy isn't something you find, it's something you create. Strength isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And the beautiful truth is that you get to start building right now, today, in this moment. Your breakthrough is not coming, it's here. Your victory is not distant, it's within reach. Your transformation is not someday, it's today. Embrace it, claim it, become it. You were made for this moment. Now go and show the world what unbreakable looks like.